Shalom, saints. Let us praise our Elohim with the song taught to our ancestor Abraham, as it is said, sing praises to Yahuwah every day. Eternal, mighty, holy Elohim only, supreme, thou who art self-originated, incorruptible, spotless, uncreate, immaculate, immortal, self-complete, self-illuminating, without father, without mother, unbegotten, exalted, fiery one, lover of men, benevolent, bountiful, jealous over me, and very compassionate. Eli, that is, my Elohim, eternal, mighty, holy Sabaoth, very glorious El, El, Joel, thou art he whom my soul hath loved. Eternal protector, shining like fire, whose voice is like thunder, whose look is like lightning, all-seeing, who receiveth the prayers of such as honours thee. Thou, O light, shinest before the light of the morning upon thy creatures, and in thy heavenly dwelling places there is no need of any other light than of the unspeakable splendor from the lights of thy countenance. Accept my prayer, likewise also the sacrifice which thou hast prepared thee through me who sought thee. Accept me favorably, and show me, and teach me, and make known to thy servant as thou hast promised me. Hallelujah. Shalom, saints. Today's walk we will continue from the Lost Books, the first gospel of the infancy of YAHUSHA HaMashiach. We will cover, with the Most High Yah's blessing, chapters 9 through 12, 22 chapters. As I do in my previous walks, I would kindly like to remind you, saints, that all literature is written by man, but the divine truth comes from our Most High Elohim. We must always pray for our discernment from our heavenly Abba. Remember, all mankind are liars and fall short of his glory. Our Elohim has mercy on who he wants to have mercy. In this fear for him, which is the first steps for wisdom, obtain the salvation. So let us begin. Chapter 9 will cover 2 sick children cured by water wherein Yahusha was washed. When they came afterwards into the city of Bethlehem, they found there several very desperate distempers, which became so troublesome to children by seeing them that most of them died. There was there a woman who had a sick son, whom she brought, when he was of the point of death, to the Lady St. Mary, who saw her when she was washing Yahusha. Then said the woman, O my Lady Mary, look down upon this my son, who is afflicted with most dreadful pains. St. Mary, hearing her, said, Take a little of that water which I have washed my son, and sprinkle it upon him. Then she took a little of that water, as St. Mary had commanded, and sprinkled it upon her son, who, being wearied with his violent pains, had fallen asleep, and after he had slept a little, awaked perfectly well and recovered. The mother, being abundantly glad of his success, went again to St. Mary, and St. Mary said to her, Give praise to Yahuwah, who had cured this thy son. Some of you saints may wonder why I am sharing 22 chapters of the infancy of our Messiah, and foremost, that is what the Ruach HaKodesh has moved me to do. And secondly, as I said in my first walk, these lost books give us another part of the picture that is missing from the main story, which is part of our Holy Bible. There was in the same place another woman, a neighbor of her, whose son was now cured. This woman's son was afflicted with the same disease, and his eyes were now almost quite shut, and she was lamenting for him day and night. The mother of the child which was cured said to her, Why don't you not bring your son to St. Mary, as I brought my son to her, when he was in the agonies of death, and he was cured by that water, with which the body of her son YAHUSHA was washed. When the woman heard her say this, she also went, and having procured the same water, washed her son with it. Whereupon his body and his eyes were instantly restored to their former state. And when she brought her son to St. Mary, and opened his case to her, she commanded her to give thanks to Yahuwah for the recovery of her son's health, and tell no one what had happened. In chapter 10 we will cover 2 wives of one man, each having a son sick. One of them, named Mary, and whose son's name was Caleb, presents the virgin with a handsome carpet, and Caleb is cured, but the son of the other wife dies, which occasions a difference between the women. The other wife puts Caleb into a hot oven, and he is miraculously preserved. She afterwards throws him into a well, and he is again preserved. His mother appeals to the virgin against the other wife, whose downfall the virgin prophesies, and who accordingly falls into the well, therein fulfilling a saying of old. There were in the same city 2 wives of one man, who had each a son sick. One of them was called Mary, and her son's name was Caleb. She arose, and taking her son, went to the Lady St. Mary, the mother of Yahusha, and offered her a very handsome carpet, saying, O my Lady Mary, accept this carpet of me, and instead of it give me a small swaddling cloth. To this Mary agreed, and when the mother of Caleb was gone, she made a coat for her son of the swaddling cloth, put it on him, and his disease was cured. But the son of the other wife died. Hereupon there arose between them a difference in doing the business of the family by turns, each her week. And when the turn of Mary and the mother of Caleb came, she was heating the oven to bake bread, and went away to fetch the meal. She left her son Caleb by the oven. Whom the other wife, her rival, seeing to be by himself, took and cast him into the oven, which was very hot, and then went away. Mary, on her return, saw her son Caleb lying in the middle of the oven laughing, and the oven quite as cold as though it had not been before heated, and knew that her rival, the other wife, had thrown him into the fire. When she took him out, she brought him to the Lady St. Mary, and told her the story, to whom she replied, Be quiet, I am concerned lest thou shouldest make this matter known. After this her rival, the other wife, as she was drawing water at the well, and saw Caleb playing by the well, and that no one was near, took him and threw him into the well. And when some men came to fetch water from the well, they saw the boy sitting on the superficies of the water, and drew him out with the ropes, and were exceedingly surprised at the child, and praised Yahuwah. Then came the mother, and took him, and carried him to the Lady St. Mary, lamenting and saying, O my lady, see what my rival hath done to my son, and how she has cast him into the well, and I do not question but one time or other she will be the occasion of his death. St. Mary replied to her, Yahuwah will vindicate your injured cause. Accordingly, a few days after, when the other wife came to the well to draw water, Her foot was entangled in the rope, so that she fell headlong into the well, and they who ran to her assistance found her skull broken and bones bruised. So she came to a bad end, and in her was fulfilled that saying of the author, "They digged a well and made it deep, but fell themselves into a pit which they performed." Family, I just wanted you to take note as the Ruach HaKodesh makes me understand that if we have problems, since we all do have trials and tribulations, that is the testing ground of living in this world. When somebody comes at us, this is an example of what we must do. We must pray and ask for our Father for intervention and not take matters in our own hand. And once we do that, we see the glory and the power and the might of our Yah taking care of us. Chapter 11. Bartholomew, when a child and sick, miraculously restored by being laid on Yahusha's bed. Another woman in that city had likewise two sons sick. And when one was dead, the other, who lay at the point of death, she took in her arms to the Lady St. Mary, and in a flood of tears addressed herself to her, saying, O my Lady, help and relieve me, for I had two sons. The one I have just now buried, the other I see is just at the point of death. Behold, how I earnestly seek favor from Yahuwah and pray to him. Then she said, O Lord, thou art gracious and merciful and kind. Thou hast given me two sons, one of them thou hast taken to thyself. O spare me this other. Saint Mary, then perceiving the greatness of her sorrow, pitied her and said, Do thou place thy son in my son's bed, and cover him with his clothes. Again, saints, the Ruach HaKodesh has moved me to interject that, as you see, this mother is in desperate need, but she does the right thing by calling upon and praying to Yahuwah. All praises to him. And it's not Mary that we're praying and coming to, but our Father in heaven, the most holy. And we see from the beginning that our Messiah has shown what he will do and what he will become for us, even from birth through childhood. And this is what we are seeing in this lost book for the infancy of Yahusha. And when she had placed him in the bed wherein Yahusha lay, at the moment when his eyes were just closed by death, as soon as ever the smell of the garment of the Yahusha reached the boy, his eyes were open, and calling with a loud voice to his mother, he asked for bread, and when he had received it, he sucked it. Then his mother said, O Lady Mary, now I am assured that the powers of Yahuwah do dwell in you, so that thy son can cure children who are of the same sort as himself, as soon as they touch his garments. This boy who was thus cured is the same who is in the gospel is called Bartholomew. Hallelujah. Please, saints, if you get a chance, look up in the gospel what they mean the Holy Bible about Bartholomew. Chapter 12. A leprous woman healed by Christ's washing water. A princess healed by it and restored to her husband. Again there was a leprous woman who went to the Lady St. Mary, the mother of Yahusha, and said, O my Lady, help me. St. Mary replied, What help dost thou desire? Is it gold or silver, or that thy body be cured of its leprosy? Who, says the woman, can grant me this? St. Mary replied to her, Wait a little till I have washed my son Yahusha, and put him to bed. The woman waited as she was commanded, and Mary, when she had put Yahusha in bed, giving him the water which she had washed his body, said, take some of the water, and pour it upon thy body. Which when she had done, she instantly became clean, and praised Yahuwah, and gave thanks to him. Then she went away, after she had abode with her 3 days. And going into the city, she saw a certain prince who had married another prince's daughter. But when he came to see her, he perceived between her eyes the signs of leprosy like a star, and thereupon declared the marriage dissolved and void. When the woman saw these persons in this condition, exceedingly sorrowful, and shedding abundance of tears, she inquired of them the reason of their crying. They replied, Inquire not into our circumstances, for we are not able to declare our misfortunes to any person whatsoever. But still she pressed and desired them to communicate their case to her, intimating that perhaps she might be able to direct them to a remedy. So when they showed the young woman to her the signs of their leprosy, which appeared between her eyes, she said, I also, whom you see in this place, was afflicted with the same distemper, and going on some business to Bethlehem, I went into a certain cave, and saw a woman named Mary, who had a son called YAHUSHA. Then said Saint Mary, The mercy of the Lord Yahusha rest upon you. And giving them a little of that water which she had washed the body of Yahusha, she bade them wash the diseased person with it, which when they had done, she was presently cured. So they and all who were present praised Yahuwah, and being filled with joy, they went back to their own city, and gave praise to Yahuwah on that account. Then the prince, hearing that his wife was cured, took her home and made a second marriage, giving thanks unto Yahuwah for the recovery of his wife's health. Thank you, saints, for watching. I hope you will return. We have completed 12 chapters out of 22. Yah willing, I will be creating more till completion. Till next time, keep strong. Put on the whole armor of Yah. Ephesians 6, verses 10 through 18. Shalom. All praises to the Most High Yah. Remember, family, bring the truth to your door, and peace will follow.